No spoilers. Hey, what's going on, my street people? It's DS Pyro coming back at you again with another video. It's been a while. I won't deny it's definitely been a while. I've been slacking for you guys, and I'm sorry. I know the street's been waiting for stuff, and I haven't done them, but don't worry. They're in the pipeline. They're coming. So today, on an episode of, well, we're reviewing something. What are we reviewing? Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, I did manage to get to this before it came out on Thursday, which I think was the premiere of it. I saw it at Cineworld, that's a square, in the super screen. Didn't get to go to the IMAX this time, but it was still a great screen. All the same, people were interested. They wanted to see the movie. It was really good. So, yeah, we're gonna get into this. Also, again, as I said at the beginning, no spoilers, because, you know, like, you guys probably haven't seen the movie yet, and some of you have and just want to see what it is without a spoiler review. That's just how it goes sometimes. So as always, first things first, did I enjoy this movie? Hell yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It's great, it's wonderful, it's funny, it's sad, it's all of the emotions that you want. It's a roller coaster. Not the same kind of roller coaster you got with Endgame or Infinity War or things like that, but it was good. Before I jump directly into this review, I had a worry for Ant-Man and the Wasp. After Infinity War, it was the first movie that came out. Like, after that movie, what is this movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp? What are they gonna do? Is this the comic levity that we need after such a harrowing movie? Is that the right word to use? I don't really care, but if it is, great. If it isn't, then I hope you guys know what I'm trying to say. But the difference with this movie is that this movie was anticipated by a number of people. And it's the culmination of phase 3. It's the last movie in phase 3. We don't really know what's going on after this. So I didn't have that same kind of worry about, is it what we want right now? Is it what we need right now? It was just, yo, I'm getting a Spider-Man movie and the trailer looks good. And this is what the people have been waiting for such a long time. Now, the review. First things first, acting. Acting was, mwah. I don't like when people do that, but I thought it was good to do. We'll see. Yeah, the acting was good. Tom was great as Spider-Man and Peter as always. Zendaya as MJ, which I'll make another video on that. Well, yeah, but she did a really good job. Jacob Batalon was great as Ned Leeds again as well. So I'm very, very happy with all of these things. They did great jobs acting. I believed in their characters, which is all you can really ask for from these movies. So, Jake Gyllenhaal, great. I mean, he knows what to do. He knows how to work the camera. He knows how to work well with his castmates. It's just, I don't think you could really ask for a lot famous that actually have a name attached to them, actors, to be the villain in this movie. Like, Michael Keaton was great. And again, for me, probably the best thing about that movie. And again, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, it's just a wonderful meeting for these characters. And when Tom and Jake, Spider-Man and Mysterio on screen together, it makes me happy because they interact so well with each other. I think they kind of had that similar father-son type of thing, because Mysterio is an older character and Peter is, like, and maybe not necessarily in the way that you'd expect it to, but in terms of being a young person having to look up to someone and dealing with a character in this manner. Amazing. It was just wonderful. And obviously you got Samuel Jackson, who is just, he's Sam, and it's great. Again, it's what you want. So the story, again, spoiler free. It does follow, like the Russo said, directly after Endgame, and explains things. There are a lot of things that you're left hanging with, like a lot of the questions that are answered. Not all of them, but I think a significant amount of questions are definitely answered in this movie, and that made me very happy. The story itself, it's solid. It's a solid movie that made me happy. If I had to really kind of think, what can I say without spoiling it? I likened it to Euro Trip, but without all the boobs and the incredibly crude humor. What I mean is, there's basically a dude chasing a girl all around Europe, and it's a great take on it. It's basically, again, it's beyond a teen coming of age story, but it still has that essence of that. Again, it still had that Breakfast Club vibe. It had that slightly American Pie vibe, and like I said, Euro Trip kind of rolled into one, but still very family friendly. It's great. The humor was, like I said at the beginning, was wonderful. The sadness, you felt the emotion that the characters were going through, and that's, as I always say, what you want. Also, for those that don't know what Euro Trip is, get cultured. Speaking specifically of like kind of this roller coaster, this movie does a great job of kind of showing that progress of Peter Parker as a character and as a hero and growing up into who he needs to be. And especially after being inactive for so long, it was great to see him kind of jump back into the straddle and then try and move ahead and then grow from being this naive, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man character into the hero that the world needs, but probably doesn't deserve. The pacing of the movie as well was pretty good. I mean, there are parts of it what I preferred a bit more action, but that's just me personally. I am a huge fan of action scenes, fighting, set pieces, explosions. Not too much, but just enough. And I think I personally would have preferred more action, but that is literally incredibly a very personal thing. I don't think the movie did it wrong. It's just that I want more of things that I like. Yeah. However, again with the pacing, when there was an action, the dialogue was amazing. The interactions between the characters felt natural and not like forced. Like everything that happened in the movie felt like it had a place. The comedic element of this movie really delivers amazingly well. So I can't really stress that enough, that when you go watch this movie, you're getting a great comedy, which is very much, it's like I said, the Eurotrip aspect. If it's a teen coming of age movie like that, it's the sequel movie basically, which is literally what it is. And it's dressed up as a superhero movie. And that is literally what the Marvel Cinematic Universe really is becoming. It's a heist movie, or it's an action adventure, or it's a sci-fi movie dressed up as a superhero movie, but done well, which I'm very happy with. So it's commonly said that a superhero is only as good as their villain, and the same goes for the MCU. And well, Mysterio is a great villain. I could not be happier with what they've done with this character. In terms of comic book adaptation, it's probably one of the best ways they could have done it. I mean, they probably could have stuck a bit more to the comic book, but overall, in terms of adapting this character, that is, you could say, pretty quirky in terms of who he is in the comics. Adapting him into the MCU, into that universe, yeah, it's damn good. I'm not upset about it at all. But yes, again, I would have liked a bit more closely to the comics, but it's still a good job. Also, it is very refreshing to have what I guess you could say is an original villain. Like a lot of the MCU definitely suffers from the hero has a villain, and this villain is a mirror, and not even like a interesting way of like, oh, this is a reflection of the superhero, like in a smart way. It's just, it feels like it's lazy, whereas in hindsight it's like, oh, actually it was a mirror of what a character could have been. So taking for instance Iron Man, when you've got Ironmonger, that's what technically Tony Stark could have been, but it felt lazy. And then you've got Black Panther with Golden Jaguar. Yes, that's what T'Challa could have been if he had a different upbringing. Yes, that's interesting, but the look of it felt very lazy. And then you've got Doctor Strange as well with Caecilius? I think his name was Caecilius. And it kind of felt like, all right, you've got a dark magician, no Yu-Gi-Oh! And it just felt a bit lazy. Although, admittedly, Doctor Strange was visually stunning. I've only seen the movie twice now because I'm scared to watch it, because the first time I saw it was in IMAX 3D and it just blew my mind. But still, my gripe is that the villains in a lot of the MCU movies are basically an anti-version of the hero. This movie, and again with Michael Keaton as Vulture, did not feel like that. And I think Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery is a great way of doing the mirroring aspect of the hero, but making the character, the villain, very distinctly different to the hero and not a mirror. And this movie, great job. I mean, great job. Just great job. Like I said, Jake knocks it out of the park. And speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, and more specifically Mysterio, aka Quentin Beck, visually, this movie is great, and using Mysterio in this movie lends itself so well to so many visual effects and practical effects, and then everything encompassing the effect spectrum, because that is what Quentin Beck does in the comics. He's a stunt director, as well as being able to use all the visual effects expert. Don't know the exact words, but you know what I mean. And he knows it, and it's done so well in such a smart way, and it's great. It's just great. However, with that, there are some hiccups that I had that I noticed where at points it looks a bit fake. Not with Mysterio, but in just a general day-to-day. There's a scene when the characters, again no spoilers, are on the bridge, right? And the backdrop looks fake. Like, you know when you watched Black Panther and then T'Challa's in the soul plane talking to his dad, but the background looked really like it was heavily green screened? This is what that scene felt like in Spider-Man. I'm thinking, you guys filmed on location. Why is this looking so fake? Because I know that you were there because that's where you're filming. Why is this looking so fake? But apart from those issues, visually amazing. I mean, the monsters that you see in the movie that you've seen in the trailer, great. Just, I'm happy. I'm very happy with this movie. I'm gonna keep saying that because I am. And finally, Easter eggs and end credits. Now, with the Easter eggs, I'm not gonna dive too deep into them because that does lead into spoiler territory, but they are there, and there are a ton of them that really made me happy with the possible future of the MCU and just general relations to the comics, and it made me happy. Again, I'm happy with it. Now, end credits. Now, the mid credits, well, there's two of them. No, there's a mid credits and then there's a post credits, end credits. Now, the mid credits is cool, that's nice, but yeah, cool, whatever. You can like kind of skip it. You can go use the toilet at this point. End credits though, I lost my ish when I saw that. I saw it and I was like, holy what? Because I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. Now, with this end credit scene, if you know your Spider-Man history, it should make you incredibly happy that this has happened and what it leads to for the future of Spider-Man. It's just great. I mean, I can't stress it enough. You guys just need to watch the movie. So all in all, I really enjoyed this movie. I highly recommend watching this in cinema. You know how I rate movies. When you see it in the cinema, you wait for the DVD or try and watch it for free. Go to the cinema, go to the movie theater, whatever you want to do, watch this movie. If you can't do it, buy the DVD. Do not stream this. Do illegally. Don't stream it illegally. Wait for the DVD and then buy the DVD if you can't see it in the movie theater. That's the only way you don't see it if you can't do it. Like if you got kids or something like that and you don't want to go there with them and you can't get that cover for your kid, do that. Then wait for the DVD. Cool. So as always, dudes, please leave a like, comment, and share. I haven't done this at the beginning of the video in a very long time. Anyway, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell because I will be doing videos weekly once again. I have interviews ready that have gone up. One of them's gone up as of the filming of this yesterday, which is Monday. So this video is probably going up on Tuesday. Yeah, so I'm doing stuff again. Yes, sharing this video, share it with your friends if you enjoyed it, and if you didn't like it, share it with your enemies because then they're gonna have to deal with my face and my voice. Hopefully they like it, and if they didn't, you know the scenario. It's a circle. It's a circle. Dudes, videos are gonna be here. I still don't have a sign off yet, so peace.